Hello and welcome to more Pico editor sessions where we develop a Pico editor, the online editor using no frameworks but just TypeScript. And today we're going to add the unit tests runner to our project. This would change the way how we develop things. So we came to a moment where certain methods, especially in the business logic of the editor, become a little bit too complex to test it manually in the browser. So we will add a test runner today, and in the later sessions we would start writing unit tests for our code. What we did here is we added two commands to our package.json file, and there's a test and test coverage. For the test runner, we're going to use ts-mocha. This is a Mocha test runner which also transpiles TypeScript on the fly, so we don't need to have an extra step before running the tests. So here we add ts-mocha as a dev dependency to our project, and basically what we're saying here, with the test command, we run all the tests that are in the folder and subfolders of the src folder in our project, which end with a .test.ts in the file name. So a similar command, test coverage, we're using nyc as our test coverage tool. We basically say when calculating test coverage, use ts-mocha and cover.ts files, and we give the same file mask for the test files. So nyc has the nyc output folder for its temporary files. That's why we added to the git ignore. We don't need to change tsconfig.json. And this is an example of a method that you want to cover the unit test. So it has some non-trivial logic, and it's a bit lengthy, so it's not like a one-liner method. That's why it's super useful to cover it with a test. We're not going to do it in this session. In this session, we just have an example unit test. Let's see how the test looks like. So first of all, we put the test file next to the production code file. So document model is what we're going to test, and the document model.test.ts is a file that has the tests for this component. This is a convention we're going to use in our project, so we don't separate tests into the separate test folders, but just keep them next to the production code. And this is how the test looks like. So it's using these two methods, describe and it. The describe adds a name to, for example, for a component that we're going to test, and it is a method that gives each particular test case a name. So it is designed the way that it should read like. We describe the document model, and what should it do? Like this should read as an English language. Document model should insert text. So, and after that you can add other it descriptions into what else should the document model do. So in this case, let's look at the simple case. We just create an instance of the document model. We call the method that we're going to test, insert text. It has two parameters. One is we're going to add the test text to our document, and we're going to add it at the very first position of the document. After that, we use another method, the getLine, that returns us the line of the request on the requested index. So here we just request the first line of the document, and this is how the test ends. We do the assertions. So we assert that the line should have the text test in it, and that's because we added that here. So a very simple test. Let's see it in action. We run npm run test in our project, take some time to spoil TypeScript, and then we see document manual should insert text. This green tick here means the test has passed, and here is a summary. We have only one test in the project right now, and it took 15 milliseconds to run. This 50 milliseconds excludes the TypeScript transpilation because we saw there is a sound delay when the test was starting. And another method that we're going to run, the test coverage one. Let's see what it does. We run npm run test coverage, and to the addition to the tests, we also get the coverage report. And the coverage report means which files, which production files were actually tested. And not only that, but also which lines in those production files were executed during the test. So for example, this test, we have the insert text method called, but we don't have remove text method called. So here what you see, this is the most important aspect of this report, uncovered lines. We see that lines, for example, from 31 to 47 were not tested at all. And that's exactly what we expect. So the remove text method was not tested. This gives us a good indication that we need to test this method as well. So what is to come in the next sessions is we're gonna create more complicated test cases for this method. Maybe we will rewrite this method completely to demonstrate the test-driven development approach to software development, and we will cover more components with the unit tests. See you next time.